Hi, my name is Trevin Sluss, and I'm a local artist here in Johnson City. This is how music became my career. Oh man, well, it's been a part of my life, I feel like, since I can remember. Not necessarily playing it, but listening to it. I grew up, my family would listen to like Southern gospel, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't listen to it much anymore, but I remember thinking, man, this is cool. Like I would just pick out melodies and different things in each song. And then my grandma and my mom would listen to like, anywhere from AC/DC to just Earth, Wind and Fire and these bands that I would just fall in love with this like groove and sound. And so ever since I was, maybe 5 or 6 years old, when I understood what music was, that's what I wanted to do. Like ever since I was a little kid, for sure, I knew that that's what I wanted to do for my career, my job, whatever that looked like as a 5-year-old. Changed drastically as I grew older and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a part of my life forever. Oh man, my first gig? I don't know if I remember my first gig. Yeah, okay, yeah. I played in a church band. I guess that would be my first gig. I played guitar really poorly in a church band in 8th grade. Yeah, and it was awful. Sounded really bad, but I fell in love with it. Well, so out of college, I graduated ETSU in 21, and I didn't want to go to school. I hated school, didn't love college. I minored in the bluegrass program and I liked that. That was about it. But I knew that I wanted to do music no matter what. I didn't have a ton of support from a lot of people because people just, don't think you should do that, which makes sense. But when is, not taking risks ever been coexistent with a successful person or career, you know what I mean? So I just, out of college, decided, all right, I don't want to work a job forever, so I'm going to work as long as I feel like I need to until I have enough consistent gigs, consistent recognition to be able to do this full time. And so 2 years out of college, I was working full time, and this is 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago today, I quit my job. And so that really pushed me to get gigs so I could eat and pay for rent. So yeah, that was the turning point, was quitting for sure. It depends on the time of year. Summer is insane. I'm very grateful. I'm booked 29 times in July, so there's 2 days that I don't have music in July, and I'm really sleepy. So summers are really, really gig heavy, and those days outside of the actual performing, the gigs or the shows or whatever, is rehearsals, sending emails for quotes of other gigs, and trying to record as much from gigs that I can use for social media because I don't have time to sit in front of the phone for 2 hours a day on those months. But in the wintertime, it looks totally different. Booked a lot less. Everybody wants to save money for Christmas, so nobody wants to book musicians. And so those weeks look a lot more like building content, trying to update website, make more business cards, send emails, brand, connect with people, network, whatever it is, doing things like this, but on a different, different scale and different things like that. So every season is so different, depending on weddings and gigs and everything like that. But yeah, it's hard to pinpoint what a week looks like because none of them look the same at all. Yeah, I think so. I think that anybody can be successful using social media if you use it the right way. And I don't think there's necessarily just a right way and a wrong way. I think there is definitely a path that's going to lead you to more success, which is consistency, building a brand, building marketing, which is much easier when you have a team. And I don't have a team, so it's something that I try to spend enough time on to make it work as well as make money playing gigs. But I definitely think that yes, social media has leveled the playing field, and you can live in a city that has nothing to do with music. There's no live music, a small town of 400 people, and still make it in music because someone's going to see your reel that you posted 15 times to get recognized. Like that's just most likely going to happen compared to someone living in Nashville or LA or wherever music is booming and they're playing gigs but they're not posting anything on social media. They're probably not going to get as much recognition as this person with 500,000 views on a video they posted in their living room, if that makes sense. So I think it levels the playing field, but you have to do it the right way. You have to make your brand known, make yourself recognizable, be consistent in that style, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think Nashville and Johnson City are very different. I think Nashville is awesome for musicians that are especially ahead of the game and that have the grind of all we're going to do is play shows, and that's awesome. But there's such a competitivism and an oversaturation in Nashville. that all of these musicians, same with LA, all of these musicians are cutthroat. They're trying to steal gigs from other musicians. They're trying to say, well, they're not as good, so let us play this venue, let us open for this person. And it's not as much, in my opinion, in some ways, about connections as a town like Johnson City, where I see, you know, we aren't a huge music industry city. We're growing, and I see that, and that's awesome. But I know so many local artists here, and they're so supportive. Like, it's not a competitivism thing. It's how can I plug my friend who's maybe in my band who has another band, or my friend who knows this other friend who plays music, and if I can't take a gig, let me not just gatekeep that gig from other musicians, but say, hey, you know, this is my friend, they're a local artist and they're fantastic. I don't know, I think that there's a totally different atmosphere. There's support in Nashville and some, you know, sects in Nashville, but in a lot of ways it's very cutthroat, it's very intense. Yeah, oh my gosh. Dude, downtown Johnson City specifically, and I'm in the Tri-Cities, but I'm more focused on Johnson City, is so much camaraderie, you know what I mean? Just so much support and uplifting other people. I just played last week at 1976 Flowers, and right here in downtown, and she had some apparel, and I mean there was like 5 different vendors there, and no one was like pushing for this space or that space. Everyone was like, oh, if you like our booth, go to this booth. You know what I mean? It's support, it's familial almost in a way, and I think that's beautiful. I love that about Johnson City, seriously. Social media. I mean, and playing gigs consistently, I'm better at playing gigs than I am being consistent on social media, but I'll have some runs on social media where I'll be consistent for, you know, a month or 2 months. I'll be posting every week, and that always does so well, and I'm very grateful. I had a few videos do well, which got me to the following I have on Instagram and got me so many of the gigs I have outside of Johnson City. Yeah, just posting honest content, which I'm hypocritical because I'm bad at that consistently, but I'm working on it and trying to be better at it. I definitely think Johnson City is one of the most unique places to be an entrepreneur and to pursue your craft and your career on your standards, and on your terms, because there's so much freedom here. There's freedom to mess up and keep trying. I think there's so many local businesses that are brand new in the last 3 years that have struggled to start, and then now they're booming, and everyone knows when I say names of these brands who they are. I mean, everyone knows the Generalist, and they just popped up and blew up, and I don't know, Blues Brews, all these places, Fearless, so many coffee shops, and every single one is so good. But yeah, I think Johnson City is awesome when it comes to pursuing your craft, to being an entrepreneur. That's a large reason why I'm still here, why I'm not in Nashville, because I think that you can do it in Johnson City, maybe even easier in some ways than you can in places like that, and more affordably, for sure. So. All right, my 10 words of wisdom can be summed up in 5 words, and they are: prepare your field for success. I go back to this parable with this farmer and these 2 farmers, and they live in this village, and the only way they provide for their family, the only way they provide for their village is through their crops. They have these giant farms, and there's this drought that comes through for months and months and months. So they're not growing any crops, nothing is growing, they're not successful in any of this, and they're exhausted, so they start hoping and praying for rain. Like, God, give us rain, please, we need rain. And one farmer, as he's praying for rain and hoping for rain, goes out to the field and he sows all these seeds on this like dry, barren land that hasn't grown anything in months because it's a full drought. And the other farmer sits in his house and he just keeps hoping and praying for rain. God, give us rain, please give us rain. Now both the farmers go to bed, and overnight it's just like a downpour, like massive downpour, tons of rain, and they wake up, and one farmer that sowed seed in the field goes out to a successful field, and he sees like, okay, like this is gonna be great. All of these seeds that I planted last night, even though it was barren and gross, are going to grow. Like I know that. And then the other farmer looks out on his field and it's just a mud field. It's unusable. He can't go out there and put anything in it because it's a mud field. And so I go back to that parable all the time whenever I'm feeling lazy, or like I don't want to make content today. I don't want to rehearse for this gig. I don't want to send more emails about, hey, can I play here? Can, you know, whatever. Because I can hope and I can pray and I can want my career goals to happen. I can want to make it in the music industry. I can want all these things. But if I don't go out and set myself up for success and prepare myself, none of that's going to happen. 1,000 miles down the road, we'll meet again. Go listen to Everything But Me on Spotify and anywhere that you listen to music. It just came out a little over a month ago, so go stream it. I need this. Thank you. I need it.